Thanks, Robert. And welcome back to our English language gathering. Before we start, please reach out to your tens and invite them to join us. And be sure to turn your cameras on so we may see your smiling faces. Now, with our opening intention, John Larkins.
Al Salam Shemati 40. What is the measure of faith in the Rav? When one is engaged in the right, the time is right to extend upper abundance because the blessed adheres to the blessed. In other words, since one is in a state of completeness called blessed, in that respect, one presently has equivalence of form, since the sign of completeness is if one is in gladness. Otherwise, there's no completeness. Time.
Thanks, John. Now, our special guests are going to share their Congress preparations and life in the tens. Women's Toronto 1. Ladies?
Thank you. It is known that the most important is the true connection among the friends. This causes all the salvations and the sweetening of the judgments when you gather together in love, brotherhood, and friendship. By this, all the judgments are removed and sweetened with mercy, and through the connection, complete mercy and revealed kindness are revealed in the world. Amen. Amen. All of our tens working towards that. So I'm going to lead off talking about what we have been doing. Women Toronto 1, we've been meeting physically, gathering for weekends for the last 4 years. And at a friend's home in nature. So we are on a lake, we're surrounded by physical and inner beauty. And as a 10 over the years, we've continued to grow in connection among us in that environment through the efforts we make every year. So we have friends that drive from the US into Canada. We've got one Canadian friend who flies across from the West Coast. We all meet in Toronto and then drive another 3 hours to our friend's home. So the work that we've done in those 2.5 days on those weekends that are filled with intentions, games, activities, meals, and all the live lessons from BB, all of it has served as a platform, a foundation for whatever the next level of advancement for our 10. So therefore, that feels like the foundation for the Rosh exercises. It was an actual prep for it, because building upon the connection, trust happens. So there's deeper and deeper trust because of those physical gatherings and the rubbing and all of the things that happen when we're together physically. There was a trust built in the friends, trust and faith built in the Creator for bringing us together. So when the suggestion from BB and from our Rav came about this exercise, we called upon the foundation that we had, and we trusted to jump, just like Nakshon. So even before the 10 Congress, we went, we did it, and right away, we began to actually feel that deeper faith, trust of the Creator, who our Rosh was being the conduit for, and passing on the guidance to us. And we as the 10 also began to feel how vital, how absolutely essential the necessity of the Rosh being able to do their work depended on us and supporting them. So we'd like to just share, we were just together last weekend, so we'd like to share a small clip of that. And then there's different friends from the 10 who are going to share what that experience of being the Rosh or experiencing different Roshes in our 10. We'd like to share that with you. So the clip, please. Thank you.
And according to Ravash, those people who agreed to unite and engage in love of friends so as to receive the force of love of others.
To never part. Behind the walls of the heart I see the Shattered pieces I
It's a great gathering. And I think there's a lot of joy. It's a lot of discernments too.
There was a lot of rubbing, and that creates sparks, which creates connection, warmth, connection.
And it did press individually and as a group to address certain things with love. And wow, we really we're growing.
I am grateful to the Creator that He landed us here on this property.
You know, the environment is fantastic, and we're really building. We feel what we're building, something between us. We don't always understand it.
We're definitely on the cusp of having the strength and the balance and the momentum and the trust between us to be able to do that, so that when we enter the rubbing of the hearts, it doesn't dismantle us, it doesn't divide us. But we're honest, we're direct, we handle it together, everybody shares.
You know, rubbing and sparks, and but it kept us together, and it was really something else. We gathered together before like 4 times, and every time it's better.
open the eyes of our hearts so that we may bring you contentment, connect us, integrate us into one common desire. When I am not with you, I'm with you in thought and prayer. Prayer is a place we create the Creator together in our center, dissolving into one. Together.
According to Rabbaj, in order to receive the Torah, one must be in a group, as one man with one heart.
On to one another's heart, we choose to never part.
In our team, we started Rosh exercise. This is our first round, not yet to the end, but it's already felt how the connection increased in the 10 and trust. And we feel more importance of Creator in the 10, and feel His presence in the form of bestowal to one another. We feel qualities of Creator as virtues of our friends. And we feel more closeness, we feel more Him in the center of our 10. And we allow Him to lead us through our Rosh. And we bestow to Him our everything we have, and we are grateful for everything He gives to us, and Him connecting us through our Rosh and through our 10.
So I don't always have good words, but explosions of joy. We had tears. We had surrender. We had subjugation. We had the teachings to tie us together. Otherwise, we would have spontaneously combusted and fallen apart. Rather, it pulled us together, and the sensation of uniting together in the center of the tent is a blessed experience. Rosh, oh yeah, that's like a lot of inner scrutiny that you go through, but you find the strength of the 10 behind you, so non-judgmental. Like, that's an amazing thing to experience within itself. No judgment, no matter how foolish you feel or how weak you feel, the 10 is there, and all you have to do is open your heart and be a conduit and bless the 10, bless the sages, bless the world Kli. Together we can do this.
Such inspiration, Susanna and everybody. We were
When we started the Roche exercise, it was right before the last Congress. And we did this exercise, a percussion circle. And we had a drum, a main drum we called the mother drum. And so we did the Roche exercise to kind of get a feel of what that was going to be like for each person. So the person that was the Roche started the beat. And then everybody joined in. And we did a couple of minutes of trying to feel the Roche, feel each other, and form some sort of and connect through that. So we would scrutinize after each person did their round. And what we discovered was the different types of personalities and how people were going to lead, and where people needed support. And it was a really good exercise in getting us started in this. And so if you haven't started yet, it's a fantastic exercise. Tons of scrutinies for when you're leading, the responsibility for the 10 when you're leading, and then the annulment when you're not. So on to you, Vesna.
On to me. Okay. Everything the friend said, so that I don't repeat myself, I'll just say to wrap it up, this Rosh exercise is a beautiful example of you are coerced until you say, I want it. Because when it was presented, I said, oh my God, what? Somebody has to be Rosh, somebody has to be above, below, in the middle. I was the black sheep of the 10 because I was so, I don't know if it's a scare or is the teaching changing or what? And I was wrong. And I'm happy I was wrong because it's a wonderful exercise. It's not about being the head, but about annulment. And we really practice annulment by being the head of the 10. It's so, yeah, I'm really grateful, and lots of scrutinies, pro, against, but we learned, we did finish a cycle, we're starting another cycle, and it brings us to the next level, that's for sure. So I'm grateful to the Rav and to the management and introducing it. And about our gatherings, we'll continue at least twice a year. We meet physically. As everybody said, there is nothing to feed you in between the two physical meetings. The virtual meetings are special. So we grow together until the next physical meeting. Thank you.
L'chaim. A special thanks for our Women's Toronto 110 for sharing with us. And now, with the progress report and introducing our regional Congress leaders, Zohar?
Me? That's when it happens? Well, I have to change the screen so I can see who's on the screen here. Second. How do we do that? Stop changing things on me, Zoom. I can't find now the thing. Oh, there it is. They changed the look of an icon, and I can't find it after that. First of all, I wanted to say Women Toronto 1. Wow, what inspiration. I think everyone will agree with me that we should recruit them as the video editors for, raising the importance for the Congress. They did an amazing job there. It was like very inspiring. And if you can put that kind of talent into raising the importance for everyone, we should recruit you, promote you, bring you to the forefront, and let's use those talents and those big hearts of yours. Wow, a great inspiration. And also it's also very exciting because as we're getting close to this meeting that we're going to have between us all in October, you see these pictures of how exciting it is to be in one place together and and put into practice everything that we're working on in a intense way like that for 3-4 days together in the atmosphere that just enables us to have such an amazing connection. And this morning, I'm happy to let you know that this morning we had our first what should we call it? All staff, all team lead meeting for the Congress. And this is going to be something that will happen from now till the Congress itself. Every Sunday morning, we'll have a meeting with everyone who's leading any kind of project or team in the Congress. We'll do status reports. We'll go over things. We'll encourage each other, talk about issues and challenges that we have to work with on the way, and build the Congress together. So that'll be the team leaders, and I'll introduce a few of them right now, and then maybe they'll share a few words. But I wanted you to know also that since we're building this Congress together, once we just establish the structure there and everything is sitting in place, those meetings will be open for everyone, and you can all come in and participate and share and at least be on top of what's happening and see how it's being built behind the scenes as well, and maybe contribute there as well. So it was very exciting. This morning we talked about all kinds of things, and we had and most of the team leaders are kind of in place, but this is just the very first steps. Some of these teams, you have to understand that all they know at this point is that I was assigned to do that job. Now the work starts. So I just want to pick on a few of them here and kind of show them off, because I think they're awesome and that they jumped forward and they're already working, and it's very, very special. Let's go right here. I saw Pedro. Pedro, wave your hands, because there's so many people on the screen and my eyes. Oh, there you are. You're right in front of me. So Pedro, don't tell us about the technicalities of your job, but tell us what's going to make this Congress complete from what you're going to be leading in this Congress.
Well, going to prior Congresses, back when we were in hotels and stuff like that, it always just completely amazed me by how fast we were able to build that Congress. And that's because everybody helped. And it really showed a sense of community, really showed a sense of caring for your friend, not letting your friend overwork himself. I'd see these Congresses, huge setups, be done in just a couple of hours in hotels. And it really inspired me to really want to help and to really build these things. So every chance I get, I'm all in for, helping out. And now Zohar has me managing. I think it's one of the biggest points of bestowal is getting this started. The Congress, it starts now, it started weeks ago. But this is where we're at. We're in Congress mode now. Our minds are set to not just, what's stopping me from going, but what is going to get me there. And first step is to register. Second step is to figure out what you want to do while you're there. How do we want to help our friends when we're there? And there's plenty of things to participate in. So for me, it's set up and tear down to make sure everything is right where it needs to be, to make sure the convention managers have everything that they need. I'll be their right-hand man and their muscle. And I'll be leading a group of strong spiritual warriors to build this Congress. And if anybody wants to volunteer, if they're going to be there early or throughout the Congress, just let me know, and I will help you guys find something to do. But other than that, I'm very excited about this, and big things are coming. It's going to be a great Congress. So hard.
L'chaim, Pedro. So Pedro is going to manage the whole setup of the Congress and the breakdown of the Congress when we're done, right? So we're going to leave the place even more brilliant than the way we got it. Where's Julia? I saw Julia on the screen, right? Is Julia with us? I can't see Julie on the screen right now. How about we heard the intention from John Larkins, but you just heard Pedro and the excitement about serving each other and being like that in the Congress and finding what you want to do. You know, every one of us is going to be participating in duties in the Congress. There's no way that we can run a Congress with hundreds of people and feed each other and take care of each other and make all the changes and everything that we have to do and produce it without all of us participating in duties. And you know who's going to head all those duties? My dear brother, John Larkins. So tell us, John, what, you know, I know we didn't even work on a plan or anything like that, but what, you know, what's your heart in this whole thing? What's happening?
Well, I think friends have said before, when we go to this venue, which I'm pretty sure will probably be our active home because we didn't find anything better on that team, is really nice. We'll be serving one another. We won't be relying on caterers or anything like that. And so we have this huge opportunity to really open our hearts up to our friends and serve one another. I remember when I first came on the path, it took me about 3 Congresses before I realized that all these friends were serving around me and I wasn't doing anything. And so, but once you feel that desire to want to get in there and help, there's really nothing to stop us from doing that. And there's 2 things that happen here. We have an opportunity to serve. It's the opportunity to bestow. And at the same time, you know, we have on the other end, that receiving from our friends becomes bestowal. But we can include ourselves in any portion of this project that we so choose. Let's build it together from our hearts because there's nothing greater than serving our friends. Nothing. And so we're responsible for all of it. But how can what's a different way to approach responsibility? We can say, oh man, I have to do it. Or like, man, I really want to be responsible for the greatest of the generation. And let's stir that up. Let's stir that yearning up between us. And then as a result of that, the creator will actually step in and do his part. All we need is the effort. And we feel that very, very strongly between us in this prep and then all the prep that's coming out of Petah Tikva. It's unbelievable. This Congress is already unprecedented. And right now we're making the cake, as Robert Bach would always say, we're making the cake. And then at the Congress, we'll all eat it together for his sake. L'chaim.
L'chaim, John, and if you will, John is manager of all duties, and we'll look at him as the conductor who's conducting all us worker bees trying to build this hive, this kli that the creator can dwell in. So we're excited. I can't wait to come to there and look at that list and see, oh, where am I on duty? Where am I gonna? When do I get called up to help also? But you know, it's going to be in this beautiful place in Lake George, upstate New York, there somewhere, in this beautiful place. But you have to get there, right? We have to fly into Albany and somehow get there. So we have 2 amazing women spiritual warriors that are going to take care of transportation, of helping us getting there. I see Beth right in front of me. Beth, you want to share where your heart is in all this?
Yes, Mariam and I are doing this together, the team, leading the team. And we actually really do feel very strongly about how the Congress begins so much before, like, we are all physically on site at the whatever venue it is. In this case, really looking good, Lake George, Silver Bay, that's what it's called, the Silver Bay. Like, the facilities look fabulous, but everything really begins far before that. And we already have been concerned about everyone's arriving there smoothly, getting there and being in this Congress state of mind way before we set foot on the grass there in Lake George. So we will be working very hard with a lot of care for all of you to make it from wherever you're coming from, to the Congress, so we can be together there. But we are particularly, or especially helping people with their arrivals from the Albany airport to the place and then back again to catch their flights. And we hope to help make a great experience and already an immersive in the Congress experience. And we also, I'm not sure who's going to be leading it, but there's going to be like a rideshare bulletin board. That's another way where we're trying to take care of our friends being able to get to the Congress, not to have as much worries about getting, the logistics of how they're getting to the Congress. So you can look for more information about all of that, and do know that we are very much caring about everybody arriving and being able to give their best efforts toward what really matters, our connection and everyone else's spiritual advancement.
Chaim, we feel like we're in good hands, right? And anyone who wants to support this team, work with this team, please reach out to them and let them know. And Mariam, I saw you there also somewhere on the screen, so I know you're sharing this sentiment with Beth. But we have to add a little bit of a heart to this also. We don't just want to make sure that we get from here to there. We want to make sure that when we arrive there and when we arrive at the Congress site, someone is there ready for us with a big warm hug, with a big welcoming thing. And my young sister, Kathy Perello, is going to be managing this thing. Kathy, you want to share with us a little bit about what you're going to be doing with the welcoming?
Well, I'm Kathy, but I'm not so sure young, but young in heart because of all of you for sure. Our welcoming committee was passed down to our 10 years ago. Susan and Tony had done it first, and both at retreats and congresses, we've been there. And it sounds minimal, but I'll tell you, that welcome hug with a bottle of water and a little snack after people have traveled all day, it's the beginning of what is to come for the whole weekend. We take it very seriously, and we love to work with transportation or any place we can be of assistance, the registration table, helping people with their bags, whatever. So we're looking forward to it. And thank you so much for letting all of us be a part of this, Zohar, and everyone. It means the world. Thank you.
Chaim, what a wonderful thing. It's like you look at the volunteer sheet and it's like so many people just want to welcome friends to be there. And so you have a big team there waiting for you on that sheet there to add to your team as well. I just had it. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, in the morning lesson, we heard this very exciting news of the big emphasis on raising our youth, getting the next generation ready so that we'll have continuity and we'll have a real a future. We have a task that doesn't have to end this week or next week, and some of us are getting older, and we want to start bringing in some of our young blood in. And you see, we brought Kathy in, a youngster in here into this mix. But we also are talking about managers and how we can bring in management into start leading things that, some people maybe have tendencies to manage things, and so they seem to be in those jobs forever. And we need to have some rotation. We have to bring in some young blood and to get some freshness into our society. And this Congress, I have the great privilege of basically having an intern that's working with me until the Congress and basically taking over the keys from the Congress. And this is our my dear friend John Clausen. He's here. I think I saw him on the screen. And he's basically going to be from the moment we land in Silver Bay. He is the Congress manager. And I want to hear a little bit about your experience with this, John, and what you're hoping for and expecting, etc.
Yeah. Well, very interesting. I had reached out to Zohar because I'm usually the alcohol guy. And I said, hey, I want to help you with the alcohol. Let's start, thinking about it and everything. I was like, I'm thinking about maybe you taking on a little bit different role. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, what would that be? And then he says, I get on the phone with him. He's like, yeah, I think want you to be the manager. I'm like, oh, well, that's a really different role than what I'm used to. But, I guess when you're asked to serve the friends, you serve the friends. And Zohar has done so much for us. And to be able to give back, I think John Larkins was saying, you go to these congresses and you're like, oh, it's great, you don't realize what goes on behind it and all the effort and love and sacrifice that the friends put into it to serve the friends. And this is an eye-opening event for me. It's opening my heart. I can't believe what the friends are doing and what they will do. And I just keep going back to, what Bala Salama said, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? Right? So all of us are just stepping up to serve one another, to make this Congress amazing, to connect us, to advance us, and really to feel what it's like to serve each other, right? Because that's what we're doing each and every day, and that's what we're going to do in this Congress. It's going to be amazing. I might be a little bit stressed out, but you know what? I have a partner in crime with Michelle. She's going to be stressed out along with me. But it's going to do fantastic because we have amazing managers and everyone wants to make it work. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
And I hope everyone agrees with me that we're all wrapping John with support and warmth and helping him in everything that he can. It's not a small challenge, and we believe that this is going to be 10 times better than we ever accomplished anything. I have about 45 more minutes of team leaders here to go for, but I have -1 minute in my time that was allotted to me. So imagine that we'll continue. We'll share more of these team leaders and how they're amazing and what they're planning for us. A couple of them you're going to hear anyway, because the next team, I think Chaim's coming up next, right? And as you know, all of this is going to be built around some spectacular content that we're going to build between us, so that this Congress has got, substance. So it has the connection to the source, connection to what we're trying to really accomplish between us, beyond the administration and logistics, etc. So the head of the content will be Chaim, with Leo supporting him there. And so you should know that. And there are many others here that we should have named them and told you about their roles, but let's leave a little bit of an appetite for later. I'm leaving you with this note. We started registration, I think, a week and a half ago, kind of started the process, and it was a good start. It was a really nice start. It was wonderful and inspiring and even encouraging to see that, our actions, we actually go there and we put our dollar down where our words are and where our hearts are. And that's a wonderful thing. I think the next group I want to talk to this week is, if you're going anyway, and you're going to be registering, and it's not that you're not going, you're going to be registering. It's not a question. I didn't get to it yet. I was going to do it at the end of this month. I was going to do it at the end of the next month. Why don't you do yourself a favor and all of us a favor and just do it today? Do it this week. Why do it then? What, because 2 weeks are going to make a difference or 3 weeks are going to make a difference? What, you're going to have more importance then? You do it now. You make it so that we can prepare properly. And now, by registering today, I know that I'm in. Now I'm, just like the people that you heard and where their hearts are right now, because they're not only involved in registering themselves, but also in having a role. Now it's time for me to start thinking, what Pedro said. Okay, how am I getting there? And what am I going to be doing when I get there? Let me start doing that. L'chaim, friends.
Thanks, Zohar. And to our Congress leaders, now with an update of the contents by the 10 and a special invitation. Chaim?
Hi, everyone. Yeah. So first of all, I'm happy to see so many friends here, more than 140. It's really important today that there are so many friends here, because I'm here to talk about next Saturday. And it's important that everyone knows what is going to happen next Saturday. Next Saturday, there's going to be what is called a regional Shabbat. You all know what Shabbat is, right? Saturday. And on Shabbat, we have 2 lessons. We have the morning lesson, which is Friday evening, US time. And we have the afternoon lesson, which is morning time in the US. Now, this week, this Shabbat, and 1 or 2 other more Shabbats besides this one, leading to the Congress, will be dedicated to preparing for the Congress. Now, what does that mean? It means that there will be no centralized broadcast, and every region will convene within itself. We'll get together on Zoom, all of us, and it's important that everyone is there. The whole of the NA Kli, the virtual, the Cabu friends, North America, everyone, grad environment, everyone is there. Why? Because we are building this Congress by ourselves. And up until now, Zohar talked about the envelope, everything that we need in order to be able to hold a Congress. But in the end, we have to make the events happen. They're not going to be made for us. Just like we made the events happen during the 10th convention, we will make the events happen in this Congress too. Except each 10 will prepare not content for itself, but content for the whole of the North American Kli, and in some cases, for the whole world Kli. Because part of what we will do will be broadcast live. There will be anchors that will be common to everyone. Ours will be on Friday. We will have 3 hours from 8 to 11 a.m. where we broadcast to the world Kli. So what we want is for everyone to come ready to work on Saturday. We will get a brief intro explaining what it is we're going to do. We will tell you about the structure, the general structure, the skeleton, the overall structure of the Congress. What times, what days, what's the common slots, let's call it, for the whole world Kli. What is the general direction in terms of content of the Congress? What is the general theme of the Congress? Things of that nature. And then we will tell you what the general content items are, such as, well, you know them, lessons, YHs, cultural evenings, what am I forgetting? Meals, of course, and breaks. And then there is room for creativity. If people want to create something new that we haven't tried before, we're open for anything, really. And after that, we will split into breakout rooms by tens. This is why it's so important that everyone is there next week, this Saturday. We will split into breakout rooms by tens. Sorry, I just have to answer a phone and tell her I'm in the middle of a meeting. No, סליחה, אני באמצע ישיבה, אני אחזור אליך עוד מעט. She's been nagging. It's the third time she's called. So where was I? Right. And then in the breakout rooms, each 10 will pick a content item that they like, and they will work on the content. And they will build a content item. I was very impressed by Women Toronto 1. That's a classic 10. For example, they'll take anything you give them. They'll take more than one content item. But that's the spirit I want. We all want to just pounce on it. What do we need to do? Build a lesson. Let's build a lesson. What do we need to do? Build a meal, a cultural evening. Let's do it. You don't need to complete the whole lineup and get the whole evening all set up within one session, obviously. But you want to be able to at least come up with a skeleton, a formulated idea, and a skeleton lineup where you know what you want, you know what the theme is, you know pretty much the content blocks, how they run, you know when the speakers speak, when there's a song, and when what comes after what, things like that, how long the whole event is, etc. Afterwards, you fill up the details. And that way, potentially, by the end of Saturday, the Saturday meeting, we will have a Congress. We will have a Congress. The rest is details. It'll be a lot easier for us to finish it. And we will all be in the Congress mindset already. Just imagine 3 months ahead of time, we're all in Congress mode. We know what we want to do, what events we're going to have. We all can't wait to be there. Just like we work toward the 10th convention, this is going to be even more of an excitement before, because we're getting ready and we're preparing everything for our friends, not for our own tent, for our friends. Okay? There will be other elements in that Shabbat session besides the content, but this will be like the main thing that we want to achieve at that Saturday. Once we're done and you have the content item pretty much intact, not finalized, obviously, but pretty much you have a good idea of what you want, we will give you a link to a form where you fill out the details, your ten's name, who is the contact person, etc., a description of the lineup, and you submit it. From there on, we in the content team, which by the way is 5 people this time, besides me, there's also Leo and Omri and Marcos and Gianni. So we will go over it and we will give you kind of directions and polishing, or we will ask you to, we will use what you built for the content, or we may ask you to build another content item because we have, say, too many of one specific item. But by this time, you guys will have been practiced. It'll be easy for you, and you'll already be in Congress mode. In addition, we will have TENs that are in charge of categories. Not just TENs building content items, but TENs that are in charge of the cultural evenings, TENs that are in charge of the meals, the YHs, etc. And they will help you. They will be veteran TENs. They will help you guys build the content and polish it. And above all, there will be the content team that will make sure everything goes smoothly. And if you guys have questions, we're always there, always available, and it will be very exciting. We'll all be in the Congress, because when you build content, you are there emotionally. You can't build a content item without imagining how long the friends are eating, how much time of silence and just mingling do they need before we start speaking, when to put in a song that will be just right to bring up the spirit. When do we want a fast song or a slower song, something more internal? The same goes for a YH. What kind of spirit we want to invoke in the friends? When do we want them excited? When do we want them calm and introspective? When you build a lineup, you're not just filling up slots, you're experiencing the event. Looking forward to see you all this Saturday.
Time? We seem to need the time that this is going to occur.
I'm sorry?
What time are we going to be gathering on Saturday?
The same time as the morning lesson, well, which is the afternoon lesson in Israel.
Which is what time?
Okay, so Eastern time, it will be from 8:45 to 10:30 a.m. 8:45 to 10:30 a.m.
Thank you.
No, it's later, Chaim.
9:45.
It's 10:45 Eastern time.
It starts at 3:45 in Israel. 3:45 p.m. in Israel. What's that?
8:45.
It's usually 8:45 Eastern time. That was correct.
8:45.
8:45. So 8:45 to 10:30. All right, guys.
Thanks, Chaim.
Tell
Now,
your friends, and let's all be there.
Thank you, Chaim. Now, a short awakening team message. Chris?
Yeah, dear friends, absolutely incredible to be together, to build this excitement for the Congress, starting to hear the teams, all the friends are getting excited for their roles. And just want to put it out there that the Awakening team is starting to work, starting to find ways to excite friends, and want to invite any friends that can write to me if they want to be involved with the team to help inspire friends, to help bring friends to the Congress. Because the most important thing really is how much we can awaken the friend's heart to come to the Congress, to give the friends the experience of life that we have in the Congress. So very excited to meet with you and to continue to inspire. And it's going to be an incredible Congress. So thank you, friends.
Thanks, Chris. And a special thanks to all of you. Now, our closing intention, John Larkins.
Rabash assorted notes, Article 924. And God spoke to Moses. All the arguments that a person can make are only where reason affirms it. But above reason, anything might happen, except we must increase the faith that the Creator can help above nature. In fact, it is impossible to receive something above nature before one decides that this cannot happen within nature. Only after one despairs from nature can he ask for help from above to be given help above nature. L'chaim.
In these times so uncertain, what are we thinking of? Is the world going crazy, or is he sending love? Could it be that his message just goes over our heads, leaving us with the feeling of confusion instead? Alone I am blind, together we see, we need one another to truly be free. Alone I am blind, together we see, we need one another to truly be free. like